Peace and blessings to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Today I come to share not just words, but a message of healing and hope. I believe stories carry light into the darkest places of our hearts. So I invite you to open your heart as I tell you a story that reminds us of God's endless grace, His compassion, and His power to restore. There was once a man named Elias, a weary traveler who wandered from village to village. He owned no shoes, no fine clothing, and he carried nothing but a small bag. People mocked him, saying, "What can a man with nothing give to the world?" But Elias carried something greater than gold or silver. He carried the word of God, burning in his heart like fire. One day he reached a small village. The people there were heavy with pain. Some were sick. Some were brokenhearted. Some were angry with life. The land had been struck by drought, and even hope seemed to have dried up with the rivers. When Elias walked in, children laughed at his bare feet. The elders whispered, "Surely this man has nothing to offer." But Elias stood tall and said, "I have no wealth, but I bring you living water. I have no medicine, but I bring you the healer. I have no throne, but I serve the King of Kings. His name is Jesus." The people grew silent. Some scoffed. Others leaned closer, curious. Then a woman stepped forward. Her face was lined with sorrow. Her voice trembling, she asked, "If your God is real, then why did he let me suffer? Why did he let me lose my child?" Elias knelt in the dust. He looked into her eyes and said softly, "God does not delight in your suffering. He is near to the brokenhearted. Your pain is not ignored. His Son carried not only the sins of the world, but also the weight of every tear. He sent me here to remind you, you are not forgot." Then Elias placed his hand over hers and prayed, "Lord, let your comfort flow like rivers, heal her heart, strengthen her faith, and remind her she is your beloved daughter." At that moment, peace washed over her like a quiet stream. Her grief was not erased, but hope began to grow in her again. Word spread quickly. The sick came. The lonely came. The desperate came. Elias prayed for them one by one. Some received healing instantly. Others received the strength to keep going. But all of them received something greater than they expected. They received God's love. When it was time for him to leave, the villagers offered him sandals and food. But Elias smiled and said, "I walk as I came, for my steps are guided by the one who never grows weary. Keep your gifts and share them with one another. The greatest gift you can receive is already among you, His grace." And so the traveler with no shoes walked on, leaving behind a village transformed. Not because he had wealth, not because he had power, but because he carried the eternal message of God's love. God heals the broken. God serves the lost. And His grace is greater than every wound. The villagers never forgot. They began to serve each other with kindness, to comfort the grieving, and to welcome strangers. And whenever they saw a barefoot traveler pass by, they would whisper to one another, "Perhaps this is another messenger of the King." And so, dear brothers and sisters, remember this. You don't need riches. You don't need fame. You don't need power to serve God's passengers on the road of life. All you need is His word, His love, and a heart willing to share it. For in every act of compassion, His grace is revealed. Open book, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Thanks for your commitment.